Hi, I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald with Greenslate I Incorporated. And tonight I'm joined by myself. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about myself. So it's a little personal show, and I hope you're all going to be nice to me out there in TV land. And mind you, this is a live interactive show on KNTV Channel 21. And we're also streaming online at kntv.org /hotline. And tonight, you're more than welcome to join the discussion by calling in at the number that appears at the bottom of your screen. And you can call in with any comment or question, or if you just want to participate. And of course, the number at the bottom of your screen should be 312-738-1060. But before we get to the topic, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm here on behalf of Greenslate I Incorporated. Greenslate I is a not-for-profit entity, and they're designed to help ex-convicts. They've got any number of programs, including Feeding the Families of Inglewood, Kirby's Kids Camp. They have reentry programs, and last but not least, they have a program that's certified through the Circuit Court of Cook County for community service hours. Now let me give you the background for Greenslate. Here they are. If you want to reach Greenslate, the founder is Ziff Sistrunk, and their phone number is 217-600-1846. Their email is greenslateinstituteforjustice@gmail.com. And last but not least, their website, you can find them at greenslateinstituteforjustice.weebly.com. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Jan Kowalski McDonald. Oh, sorry. There it is, Jan Kowalski McDonald. And of course, Kowalski is a Polish surname, and it might be unfamiliar to some people who are not that familiar with Polish surnames, which can be really difficult to pronounce. But this one's Kowalski, and I have a picture of my coal and my nice brick wall, and last but not least, my skis. So Kowalski. Kowalski is my name. Now, some people, you might be tempted to call me, here we go, what is this? This is a cute little hot pink motorcycle. But no, it's not Kawasaki. It's Kowalski. And to help you again, remember my name. It's I got my little koala bear there, and it's 100% qualified. And back to me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Right now, I'm a candidate for the office of the Cook County Clerk in this upcoming March 20th, 2018 gubernatorial primary election that we're having. And right now, our existing Cook County Clerk is David Orr. Now, David Orr has been in office for 7 terms. That's 28 years. And he has designed not to seek re-election. So back in November, no, I take that back. Starting September 5th of 2017, I started circulating my nomination petition. That's what you have to do to get your name on the ballot. You circulate a nomination petition. And from September 5th of 2017 up until December 4th of 2017, I was able to get the signatures of 22,070 registered voters. You're like, Jan, how did you get 22,000 signatures? Wow, let me tell you, I was really busy. Generally speaking, every morning I'd be up bright and early before the sun, and I'd be out at the trains and the L's, and I'd be meeting voters and talking with them about their concerns. And a lot of people thought when they heard I was running for a Cook County office, they immediately signed thinking I was running for the Cook County assessor. Based upon my experience, the people out there are really angry with the Cook County assessor because they feel that their assessments, they're being taxed unfairly. In addition, people are really, really angry out there with the Cook County president, Tony Preckwinkle. They're angry about the Cook County soda tax, and of course the 7-cent bag tax, and any number of other taxes that during her tenure as Cook County president, Tony Preckwinkle has put in place. So unfortunately, I found an angry electorate out there. I explained to people that I was running for the Cook County Clerk's office, and most people were kind enough to give me their signature on my nomination petition. So on December 4th of 2017, I filed my petition with the Cook County Clerk's office. And there's a little contradiction there, because on December 4th, I filed my petition with the clerk's office, and I'm running for clerk. So at that point in time, David Orr and his people that work for him started scrutinizing my petition. Now, from the get-go, I didn't think that was fair, because if I'm running for the Cook County Clerk, should the Cook County Clerk's employees get to pass upon my petition? Mind you, David Orr was also personally present reviewing my petition, and I don't think it's appropriate for him to be a judge on the Cook County Officers Electoral Board and also be there judging my records examination. So after I submitted my petition, they put me through a records examination. That's fancy lawyer talk for, they look at the signatures on your petition. Most people don't know this. I did not know this, that they do this. They look at the petition that you submitted and they compare the signatures that are on your petition with your voter's registration card. Now, and if they find some kind of discrepancy, then they invalidate the signature. So all you people out there think that you're giving up time of your day to sign one of these petitions and that your vote is being heard, I'm here to tell you that, especially when it came down to my petition. I've got 22,000 signatures, of which the Cook County Officers Electoral Board found that I had 8,684 valid signatures. So long story short, they invalidated about, what is that? That's about 14,000 signatures that I got on my petition. That's an awful lot of people that were left without a voice. But guess what? Even though they invalidated 14,000, I still had 8,600 and I think 84 signatures. And I only needed 8,200 signatures. So I thought, yay, I'm on the ballot. That's fantastic because it's really important. The Cook County Clerk's Office. Most people think, well, what's the Cook County Clerk's Office? What do they do? Why is it so important? Well, let me tell you. The Cook County Clerk's Office has a $20 million annual payroll. This is a patronage dumping ground that's historically been the stalwart of the Cook County Democratic Party. Yes, $20 million in jobs go to the Cook County Clerk's Office. And people say, well, gosh, why are we paying the soda tax? Why are we paying the plastic bag tax? Well, I'm here to tell you. The Cook County Clerk's Office, $20 million annual payroll only. Wow, what a patronage dumping ground. This office is too important to let it go to any kind of party hack. Well, not surprisingly, the person that was slated by the regular Cook County Democratic Party had no problem getting their petition through the petition challenge. Me, unfortunately, for the last, I submitted my petition in December. As of today, with the election 19 days away, I am still mired in legal challenges. So this has prevented me from going out and getting endorsements and meeting voters and going to any number of events out there. So most people do not know that I'm a candidate. And this is by design. Part of the reason why they stall candidates in these candidates in these binder checks and these legal challenges is to stop the people from campaigning. That's why, even though I'm here with you guys every night, nobody knows that I'm a candidate for the Cook County Clerk. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm a candidate for the Cook County Clerk, and I'm not giving up. Just yesterday, a judge for the Circuit Court of Cook County invalidated, I take it back, she dismissed my petition for judicial review. I was asking her to review the shenanigans that took place with the Cook County Officers Electoral Board. Like I said before, I don't think David Orr gets to pass on whether I can run for Cook County Clerk. The Cook County Clerk shouldn't get to pass on whether I can run for the Cook County Clerk. It's pretty simple. Same thing. If you're the sheriff, you shouldn't get to judge on who gets to run for the sheriff. The same thing with the clerk of the circuit court or the state's attorney. Of course, the state's attorney is not up for election now, but if the state's attorney were up for election, should the state's attorney be on the board? The answer is readily apparent. No. If that office is up for election, then that officer should not be on the board. They should be far from it. Well, in my case, David Orr not only personally supervised my records exam, but he was also had his designee on the board. And mind you, these designees that he has are not low-level, just clerks from the clerk's office. These are the high-level, upper echelon members of the Cook County Clerk's Office, making 6 figures each. And I had the unlucky event of running into these people during my binder check and the nomination process. And that long shot of this is that your ballot is being picked for you. Yeah, let that sink in. Your ballot is being picked in for you. right now, Sheriff Dart is up for election, and we had Mr. Acevedo file petitions for nomination to the office of the Cook County Sheriff. He wanted to be oppose Mr. Dart in the primary for March 20th. Well, not surprisingly, now there's only one name. The Cook County Officers Electoral Board did ballot bouncing and knocked Mr. Acevedo off the ballot. So now there's only going to be one name and only one candidate for the Cook County Sheriff. So if you wanted to pick someone other than Tom Dart to be sheriff, you're out of luck, because the Cook County Officers Electoral Board decided to knock off Mr. Acevedo. We're going to say, well, maybe that's just one freaky, weird coincidence. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not a coincidence, because it happened again. In the Cook County Assessor's race, there were 3 people that were running. The 3 people being Mr. Barrios, who's up for re-election. He's the sitting incumbent Cook County Assessor. Also running for as a candidate is Mr. Kagi, Fritz Kagi. And Mr. Kagi has been endorsed by none other than the Cook County Clerk, David Orr. Wow. But nonetheless, the Cook County Officers Electoral Board was the one that handled the binder check. So there's 3 candidates for the assessor. Mr. Barrios, Mr. Kagi, and last but not least is Andrea Ralla. She's another woman that's been unfortunately deprived of her access to the ballot as well. Andrea submitted about 23,000 signatures of registered voters, and after the binders check, they found that she had, if I recall correctly, about 14,000 signatures by registered voters. But nonetheless, the Cook County Officers Electoral Board decided to knock her off the ballot. And of course, Mr. Orr endorsed Mr. Kagi. I strongly suspect that Mr. Kagi, being endorsed by Mr. Orr, is not a genuine candidate. In other words, I would anticipate that perhaps the party, maybe they know that Mr. Barrios is not well liked among voters. Perhaps the party has encouraged Mr. Kagi to run in his place. So once again, a woman's been knocked off the ballot. And mind you, this is an independent Democrat. So if you want a choice at the ballot in 19 days on March 20th, you're going to be disappointed, because there's only one candidate for the Cook County Sheriff, and that's Mr. Dart, the incumbent. And there's 2 candidates for the office of the Cook County Assessor, again, the incumbent, and another individual handpicked by our Cook County Clerk, David Orr. So Andrea Ralla is off the ballot, and Mr. Acevedo is off the ballot. So any kind of independent Democrats have been excluded from the ballot. And I'm also one of those people that's been excluded from the ballot. Even though I submitted 8,600 signatures, well enough to meet that 8,200 threshold, they still were able to knock me off the ballot. So once again, you're going to have an unopposed candidate running in the race. And this time, the Democratic Party has slated Ms. Yarborough, the former mayor of Maywood's wife and career politician. Well, I want to tell you that the Cook County Clerk's Office is way too important to allow a party hack, a career politician, access to it. And let me tell you why. Ray, if you're out there listening, the Cook County Clerk's Office handles the suburban Cook County elections, and there are 120 cities, towns, municipalities, and villages that comprise the suburban Cook County election system. And there's about 2 million voters that are in suburban Cook County. Now we talk about the machine. What's the machine? If you ask me, the machine is the voting machine. He who controls the voting machine essentially controls our elections. In this case, unless we have someone other than the person that's slated by the party, you're not going to have any independent, accurate elections. I don't know if you can remember, a couple weeks ago, I had Dr. Laura Chamberlain as a guest, and she was here telling us the problems of the ballot system. She encouraged you to register again, and she also encouraged you to take a paper ballot, because apparently there's some shenanigans going on over there at the Cook County Clerk's Office. So Why did I want to run for the Cook County Clerk's Office? And I'm sorry I'm talking like crazy. Let me just pause. You're watching Greenslate I, incorporated live on KNTV Channel 1 and KNTV.org/hotline. And today I'm telling you about why I'm running for the Cook County Clerk. And if you have a comment, question, or concern, or just want to know why I'm running, please feel free to call the number at the bottom of your screen, 312-738-1060. Now let me tell you a little bit about the Cook County Clerk's Office. Most people have got no idea of all the stuff that the Cook County Clerk's Office. The Cook County Clerk's Office handles vital records. What are the vital records? Birth certificates, death certificates, marriage licenses, marriage certificates, also notary public applications and doing business DBA applications as well too. Unfortunately, David Orr, in his infinite wisdom, has decided to put the Vital Records Department in the Pedway below 69 West Washington. But technically it's really below, I want to say it's below the Picasso and by the Kennedy Everlasting Flame. If you go right underneath there, you will find it. And even though the Bureau of Vital Records handles the records for birth and deals with people pushing strollers, and death, and deals with people perhaps that might have walkers, this is not handicap accessible office. If you can find an elevator down to that pedway that's accessible to someone with a walker or a stroller, please call me, because the two that I know of, both of which require you to go through security or be assisted by a security agent to get through if you're handicapped. So I don't think that's appropriate, subjecting handicapped people to lower level access in the pedway, and I don't think it's appropriate that they have to go through security to get a birth certificate or a marriage license. I just don't think it's appropriate. It should be relocated to a main level that's accessible to everyone else. I already talked about the Cook County suburban elections, but let me tell you another thing. The Cook County Clerk's Office is also responsible for handling the information about the TIF. You're like, Jan, what is TIF? TIF is tax increment financing. Well, that's a fancy name for, I call it a piggy bank. This TIF money can be allocated by aldermen and other elected officials to various projects. The original design is that this TIF money was to be used to help blighted areas. In other words, bring business back to certain areas. Get rid of abandoned factories by essentially keeping the taxes the same. The problem is that these funds, and they've been widely criticized as piggy banks for local officials. Now, if you wanted to find out more about the TIF money, which I call the piggy bank for elected officials, you would have to go to the Cook County Clerk's Office. The Cook County Clerk's Office is supposed to provide you with information about the tax increment financing. In addition, the Cook County Clerk's Office handles the Cook County Board proceedings, which is interesting. If you go to the Cook County Clerk's website, you can click on the link for the board proceedings, and you will be able to find an agenda of the meeting. And if you click on the agenda and open it for the next coming election, it is essentially a nightmare. You will find a PDF document. Often it's 100 or more pages. There's no index, there's no table of contents, and it's a real nightmare to find. So I'm going to challenge anyone out there, any of my viewers. I went on the Cook County Clerk's Office website, and I went to the board proceedings, and I was looking at how much Cook County pays to, what's it called now? I'm forgetting now. For people, poor people that die, they provide cremation services. So I was looking for how much the contract was that Cook County pays for cremation services. And you would think, well, Jan, this is kind of a weird thing. It shouldn't be too easy to find. It's not like it's going to be lost among another because it's such a weird little niche there. But I had a heck of a time finding this. And from what I can understand, there was a bid process, and the award went out to a company for, I think it was $80,000 3 years ago. And over the years, It was competitive bid that one time, and from what I can understand, it was renewed 2 more times, so that the last renewal, I want to say, was up to $300,000 for cremation services for indigents. But once again, this was not subject to competitive bidding. It was just renewed twice. So the initial price, I believe, was $80, and now we're up to about $300 without any competitive bidding. But still, I had to really dig to find that information. Part of what we do is at the county clerk's office is I was incensed by the Cook County, the sugar tax, the soda tax. Why? I drink vitamin water, and it's water. It might have a little Splenda in there, some artificial sweetener, but essentially, and it might have a little color in there too. But it's essentially water with vitamins. Hence, they call it vitamin water. And when I got my vitamin water, I was taxed the sugar tax too. So I don't think the sugar tax was there to help me get healthy, especially since I'm drinking vitamin water. It was there to generate revenue for these bloated budgets by these county departments. So let me tell you why I'm running. Give me a second here. As you all know me over the weeks, I'm a single businesswoman and an attorney. And I fight every day for the working people. Matter of fact, this morning I was in court in Bridgeview, and I was fighting for an ex-con, a 2-time ex-con, who was trying to reduce his child support because he's unemployed and he's finding a heck of a time trying to get work. But the judge was unwilling to reduce his child support obligation from $132 every 2 weeks, even though he wasn't working. And even though he's a 2-time ex-con and cannot find a job, the judge was unwilling to modify the child support. So every day I'm out there fighting for ex-cons and working people because we're finding it difficult to get by these days. Our checks are getting smaller if we can get a job, and our tax bills are getting bigger. And every day it's the same struggle just to keep up with the tax man. I'm sick and tired of the tax man with his or her hand in my pocket. A penny earned used to be a penny saved, according to Ben Franklin, but not in Cook County. Nowadays, a penny earned is a penny taxed. You know, I was born and raised in Chicago and Cook County all my life, other than a brief period when I was at University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. This is my home. This is a nice place to live, and I want to make sure this stays a nice place to live for working people. Because back when I was growing up, Chicago is the city that works. I don't know about the one Chicago, but it's the city that works. But I don't want to be taxed. I'm sick and tired of having the tax man's hand in my pocket. And the Cook County clerk handles these vital elections. Oh, caller, do we have a caller? Do you have a comment or question?
Well, hello, Mrs. Kowalski.
Hi. I'm sorry for your loss. Gosh.
I'm calling you from Vegas, honey.
Hi.
Can't gamble, can't drink, can't do nothing.
I know. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you for your beautiful comments.
But at least you get to spend time with your family. You know, that's always the rainbow in there, the silver lining.
I got you on my TV out here, right here in the room. I'm watching you all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow.
I'm not going to miss you for nothing. I told my husband, figure out how to get her on the TV. I got to talk to her. Right. So, hey, did you get in there now? Are you, did you pass the ballot?
I'm still fighting. Today I filed my appeal with the appellate court. What a bunch of crooks. Paul, I'm here to tell you, a bunch of crooks over there. If I can't get 22,000 people sign my petition, if that's not good enough to get me on the ballot, what do I got to do?
I don't know. What's the problem? Where's your connections? You do a lot for the community. What's the problem here?
Exactly. Apparently I didn't pay the Democratic Party.
No, they think you're too honest.
I guess I am honest.
I think you're out there.
You got me. I'm honest. I'm hardworking, but I want to sweep those crooks out.
You're out there trying to fight the big guy, and you're just a little guy.
Yep, and then they got their boot on my neck, Paul. I don't like it.
Hey, listen, just keep fighting, do the best you can for the little guys, and they're going to, someday, good things are going to, I didn't realize how smart you were. I didn't realize how many things that you know about this Chicago over here. So, you know what, it's their loss. I was going to go vote, but now
No,
you're not
I'm
there.
not giving
You're
up.
not
You know,
on the
this
ballot.
voting's too important because if they control the elections, they control everything. They
Here,
can
let
pick
me
who
ask
they
you a
want to be in office, and they're going to put any number of taxes. You know, I
Well,
heard something about they want to start charging us to use the expressways.
All right, let me
You hear
ask
that
you
too,
this.
Paula? They want to charge us to use the expressways.
Wait a second, Kowalski. They charge us for the toll booth. They charge you for a grocery bag. They charge you for a pop. Let me ask you something. Even though you're not going to be on the ballot, whoever is going to be on the ballot for the Cook County clerk, how do you know they're going to change everything?
Oh, they're not.
How do you know they're going to stop the taxes on the pop?
Oh,
on
no,
the
I'm
bag,
positive.
on the tollway?
They're going to keep it going. They are the persons that's slated by the party. They are
I
a
was
career
talk-
politician, and it's a patronage dumping ground over there with $20 million in annual jobs at stake.
And where-
You think
where
the
is
party's
it?
going to give that job up?
They had a gentleman the other night coming out of the 21st Ward. He was with the Reverend talking about all the new neighborhoods that they're building on Madison Street. But the only problem with that is once they start building the stuff on Madison Street, they start shooting them up. A person opens up a new business, all of a sudden the guy shot to dead, there goes the new business. They got to start from the inside. We've been through up and down the street, you and me, a million times.
Well, you
with
know
the
what? I
guns.
think it all starts with houses. I really do.
It starts from everybody. You know, if the people in the jail, when they come out, give them a choice. Maybe they want to go in the service. Offer them a chance. Do something with your life instead of going back in the street and starting the same crap all over.
But part of it has to be helping people find jobs. And right now, there's no help.
Where's the jobs? I can't even find a job. I work 1 day a week. What are you talking about,
Well,
Kowalski?
Paula, they're kicking me off here. So I'm
All
hoping
right,
you can be on next week. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, Paula. And thank you for watching and participating in today's show. And tonight I was telling you about why I was running for office for the Cook County Clerk. And thank you for joining us. And tonight my technician has been Steve. Thank you, Steve. And thank you. And hopefully next week we'll have Paula on the show. Thank you and have a good night.